Okay. Um, well, this is the third part of my little video series, mini series on this these tournaments I played the day before yesterday. I've got that right. So here we are. I am currently playing a pot limit badugi. It's the last tournament I'm still alive in, having been eliminated from two others. PLO8, I failed to cash, had a decent run, but just couldn't quite kick on from a good, reasonable start I made. And then single draw, I did cash, but not very much. And here I am, fourth place out of 15. I've had a, a very nice little run the last little while. Okay, so I'm not being very good with my words at the moment, repeating myself. But this happens sometimes. It's quite actually. I'm really tired. I'm tired. I was going to play tonight. I'm actually going to play two tournaments tonight, and I realise I'm just not going to be able to do it. I'm going to just I just want to go to bed instead. That's what I want to do, right? And I might have a bumper day tomorrow because I'm not going to be playing tennis tomorrow as I would normally do. So just gonna I need to get out and about them a little bit, don't I? But just gonna in the afternoon, evening, night play. I don't know how many tournaments. I might play half a dozen. Let's see. Do have to work earlier in the day though, so can't just play all day, all night. Anyway, here goes. Right, so I had a very similar hand to this a little while earlier. At the beginning of the tournament, very close to the beginning of the tournament, I ended up losing half my stack. Someone check raised me when I had this hand. A 10, 9, 8 ace it might have been, almost the same hand. So this time though, I'm going to have to. Luckily now, you see, everybody who's behind me, uh, has a shorter stack than me, so I don't have to worry so much. I've got people's bounties in play here too, but everybody folded to me. That's a bit of a bugger, actually. Wanted some action. Now, got another big hand here. So, just go with it now. Very next hand. And Rakov decides to 3-bet pot. Well, I'm just going to go with this now. I actually wouldn't mind somebody else coming in. I could win a big pot, get a whole bunch of bounties here. If we go 4-way or even 3-way. So what's Toth Quor going to do? Quor. Is he gonna? He's thinking of it. It's like he's thinking about it, isn't it? He's cogitating and deliberating. Did anybody ever used to watch the old MasterChef with Lloyd Grossman? That's sort of how he used to talk. Now, anyway, yeah, I think I make the right decision. Okay, so whoa, so you can see on the first draw, I hit a jack immediately, so I draw one, and now I'm thinking he's going to be pat a lot of the time. He might not be all the time though, so let's see. Is he pat? Oh, okay. So he actually draws. Oh, okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself now. Feeling pretty good. So I'm gonna Jack six. Yeah, you pretty much always gonna want to pat that hand, as you know you're up against a better pat hand for some reason. So pat this, and then he doesn't draw. Oh bugger. So we've got me, and then he has something. He just beats me with a 10-8. So I mean, I'm very happy with what I did there. And he had a really bad draw, so there's no reason he shouldn't have been getting involved at all with that. I mean, that was just definitely a losing play. I mean, he had a shitty draw, a really terrible draw. I'm assuming he had the 8-7-5 and not he wasn't drawing to the 10. That would be utter madness, but it was madness already. Um, so I also work out kind of what equity I had there. We went 1-1. I had a 6-2-5. I'm assuming he had 8-7-5. So the way to work your equity out here is what really helps the calculation is the fact that you're basically 50-50 to hit a badugi over three draws. So half the time you get a hit, half the time you get a miss. So you can think of four possibilities here. If he hits and I miss, well, I don't win, right? That's for sure. If if I hit and he misses, I win. So the 25% chance, 25% is in my is locked up for me there. Zero in the other case that he he hits and I miss. Now, what about the other cases? What about if I miss and he misses? Well, then it's going to come down to whoever has the best three card hand. That's very likely to be me. So out of 20, it's very, very likely to be me. It's very unlikely he's going to make a three card hand that overtakes the three card hand I have, especially given that I could actually make a better three card still. So I'm going to say out of the 25% possibility of that, 24% is 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 going to be a win for me. Then the other one, the complicated one, is what happens if we both hit, and which is actually what happens here. That's the fourth possibility, is that we both actually hit. And obviously, I'm a favourite to win in that situation. So maybe I'll split that up further. What if I hit an 8 or better? And there's about a 50-50 chance of that, right? You basically have 10 outs, and 5 of them are going to make you an 8 or better, and 5 are going to make you 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. So if I make an 8, so an 8, 6, 5, 2, well, I'm extremely likely to end up with the best hand here, unless of course he improves his three card and then improves. So out of that, so you've got 12.5% there. I would say something like 11 of that is going to give me the best hand. And then the other 12.5% will be when I don't make a hand as good as an 8. That situation, well, um, he's yeah, I don't know how to. Then I suppose most of the time I'm not going to win because he a lot of time he's actually going to make an 8. Sort of that other 12.5, maybe sort of 4 for me there, something like that. So if you make with that 4, 11, 15, and then I added 24 and 25, a 64%. So I think I had about that much equity in this hand. So nearly 2 to 1, not quite two, nearly two-thirds, not quite, making about 64% is the equity I had in that pot there. So he was getting his money in there as a significant underdog, and sometimes a significant underdog wins, as it does here, and that's fine. Uh, and even against his range, I certainly didn't think he had that in his range. It's just a bug I didn't get his bounty. Could have done with one of the other ones coming in as well there, but I'm happy that I put him all in there. I got him all in. Okay. Unfortunately, I did lose some ground there. Not much I could do about it. Now to sixth place down of 13. So 2 places until we get a little page up. It's only a really little page up though. So what's he going to do here? I'm going to call because I'm getting good odds to call there. He's got a big stack. Just a min raise. Draws 1. I draw 2. Oh, and I hit. I hit very well. So I'm pretty sure I go for a raise here. I think that's the only way to play this. And I'm probably going to kind of commit myself. If he 3-bets me, now the big question is, what do I do here? Maybe there's two ways I can play this. I think I have the best hand most of the time. Unless I put a spewing note against this guy. So I probably need to actually just bet this. I decided to go for a different route though. I don't know. I didn't want to lose my whole stack, which is a really defensive way to think about it. Probably not what I should have done. Probably should have just bet here and just went with it, right? If he check raises me, well, you know, so be it. I've got so much to put, fair things. I guess at the moment I actually haven't put that much of my stack in. So I've put in what 7,000 or something. I've still got 17 behind. So although I've got just over a pot size bet left, I'm thinking I'm not committed yet. Do I want to commit myself? But I still think I probably should have just committed myself here. His range is going to be really wide here, I think. So, in terms of, I'm actually eating at the moment when I'm doing this, so maybe I'm not as on the ball. As I decide to check it back, don't think that's the right play. Think I need to just bet, 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 bet. Now I decide to bet the river. I'm pretty confident I've got the best hand here. He could, um, and I think he called me, and I ended up winning. I was reasonably happy with that, obviously, to win, but I still felt I could have got more value for that. It would have meant risking my whole stack, though. And what would have I done if he'd shoved the river there? That would have been a difficult one too. I was pleased I got a little bit of value on the end there, and he was able to call me with whatever he had there. And I'm pretty sure I've got such a big hand here. Oh, I don't. I decide not to three bet. Why did I do that? I wonder why I did that. Now, I wonder how I play this. Well, he draws two. Okay, well, that. I mean, I should have just three betted from the start. I lost some value there again. Although he might have folded. He probably didn't lose value because he probably would have folded to my three bet if he had a two card draw, which he seemed to have. Hmm. So how do I decide to play this? You can either draw one or draw two here. I actually think it's close, but I think drawing one might be slightly better. When I hit immediately, I hit an 8-6. I think I'm going to have to go with this regardless. Like, how good is my hand? That's the difficult thing. It's good, but it's not a world beater. So I'm a little bit. I bet a reasonable amount, about 80% of the pot here. Don't want to give people the odds to draw out. You just fold, okay? And he's pat as well. Now I'm thinking I probably do have the best hand, but I can't be too sure about it. I bet, just over half the pot. And now I decide not to put him all in. Obviously I could bet enough to put him all in. So I had to bet a little bit less because I want him to call me. There's something psychological about an all in. And I'm not 100% sure I've got the best hand. I'm sort of 75, 80% sure. I did have the best hand. Now I've got a big hand, big pot rather. Still think it could have been bigger, maybe. Anyway, I'll bust it with a three ace mandatory raise. Absolutely, must do it. If I get three bet here, I'm going to fold. And look, I'm in the lead now. I'm first out of 12, so I really, really want to capitalize on this. Not so 68,500. I've got okay now. Oh, look at this. So there wasn't a lot of action there. It was suddenly on the final table. I've still got no bounties. Still got no bounties. I've got a good stack, but unfortunately I'm in this sandwich of these big stacks. That's an unfortunate position to be in. Look at me with no bounties. Third place on the table. What do I do here? I raise. What does he do? A really terrible badugi. I just want to take it down right now. He calls. Now I'm not liking this too much. Have to keep going with it though. Just have to keep betting. Now he's drawn two, so that really helps me a lot. I bet that amount. What does he do here? He's going to fold most of the time. That's what he does. So I've got over 70,000. And I have to fold this with the gun for sure. I have no idea what that Russian is there. I don't speak Russian or understand Russian. I know a few Serbian words, which is kind of close. Serbian, Bosnian, Croatian, it's all kind of the same thing. Montenegrin. They would probably disagree and say there might be different languages, but they're not different languages. Let's be honest about it. So one, watching this. No, it looks like there might be fireworks coming. Just watch. 1-1. Okay, someone's going to bet, right? Is Jago Black going to bet? Looks like it. Always betting. Yep. Decent amount there. Oh, what's he doing now? Oh, we bet 2,000 the pot now. Oh, it's small, sort of sparring here almost. Whoa. What are they doing? What are they doing? What's GNL gonna do? Oh, his calls. This is a bit weird. If he draws here, that's a little bit weird. Doesn't draw though. What does GNL do? Suspense here, isn't there? Now he draws. God. That's 14. Oh, and he gets a call. Oh, wow. 7531. Let's see what he had there. Oh, wow. So he hit a really good hand there and just wasn't quite good enough. Ooh, that was interesting. That he called that turn bet. I honestly don't think that's probably the best. And draw to the 7-3 here. Once again, I'm in a situation where I completely miss. And I can't. He just limped in. I have no alternative but to simply fold. Okay, he pots it again, right? 69,000. Got a good stack here. Don't want to let it go to waste. It would be awesome to get a bounty, wouldn't it? Well, J Go Black comes out with a big 3-bet. Good win. So they go 1-0, and is he going to pot this? He does. He goes, decides to go all in. Ooh, this is interesting. Doesn't discard. What he makes, would you believe it? He makes number 3 as the third nuts, like a million miles ahead of what J Joe Go Black had. And J Go Black just couldn't quite find. Now this was a tricky hand for me. So I decide to 3-bet. So he just min raises it under the gun +1. I 3-bet. I think I should have gone a little bit bigger. Anyway, but hey. Now alarm bells should be ringing here. Alarm bells really, really need to be ringing. Like anybody should really just want to get their whole stack in here. And the fact that he just doesn't decide to just do that makes me, what the hell has he got? Like this 4-bet sizing makes no sense. So I should have been, my spidey senses, if I have spidey senses, should have been really, locked into this. That's really, um, yeah, it's suspicious, isn't it? Okay, and now, so he calls. So the pot's big now. The pot is really quite big. So I only have 1.5 pots in my stack. You have 3/4 of a pot. Your stack is tiny relative to the pot. So I'm not going to go broke on this hand, obviously, but I'm in danger here. Well, you could go broke. Obviously, you could go broke. So let's see. Something to do. Also, don't hit. He draws as well, right? Now, what do I want to do? I feel like I've clearly got enough equity to not fold here, despite the fact that he might be doing something it was a little bit suspicious pre-flop. I mean, with a really, really strong read that play means he has a monster, I suppose I can fold now. Maybe I could have even folded to the initial 4-bet. That would have seemed a bit crazy, but who knows? If he really is if that 4-bet sizing means that he has an absolute monster, well, maybe I could just get out of the way. Anyway, I decided to call. I think that's probably the worst option. I felt like what I should have done here is just to pot it and put him to the test there. If he calls me, well, I've still got a lot of equity against anything he's going to have. So that might have been the way to go, actually. Instead, I just call, and it makes me very vulnerable. It gives you the opportunity to just stick all your stack in and put me to the test. And then what do I do then? I mean, that's awkward, isn't it? So let's see what he does now. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. And I think about this for a little while. I'm thinking, well, I've got to call roughly 18,000, which is 40% of my current stack. And I mean, he could just be trying to force me out of the pot, right? That's a possibility. I mean, he's been quite aggressive. If it was a different player, and there's no way I would have called here. I felt like this was not a good hand for me. Anyway, like, look at me. I'm trying to make up my mind what to do. The easy decision would have been to fold, but I didn't trust you enough to actually have a good hand here. I'll take my time. Take my time. I make the call. Oof. And he's Pat, right? You're Pat. I hit the three of diamonds. I'm brick out again. Oh god. So it looked like he had a good draw. It's like he hit the 10 and but look at this. It was Pat from the start with number four. He had an absolute monster. Absolutely. That's one in it's less than this is roughly one in 3,000 chance, just under 3,000 that you'll get a hand as strong as that or better. There aren't many better, are there? Dealt Pat. So he had a like huge hand. Of course, you had enough to beat me, but not to beat him. I still think actually just shoving the flop might have been a good idea there. I mean, of course, if I'd known what he had, I wouldn't. I would have just folded. Would have not been. I still had outs, didn't I? I had the ace. Actually, I didn't. I didn't have any outs. I needed to hit the ace of diamonds, which of course you had in your hand. That was the only thing that. So I didn't actually have a way of beating you. So I was actually drawing dead. So I had no idea that was the case. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to carry on with this. So that hand obviously hurt me a lot. I lost something like 60% of my stack there on that just one hand. So obviously I'm going to try and recover some of that right now in the very next hand. I have a big draw. It's going to be a long road back now from that. Sixth place all of a sudden. Really hurt me hard, that one did. Okay. Okay, two again. I draw one, so I'm gonna basically commit with this. He folds, right? 32, 30,000 now. A few hands later. Much has happened. Am I going to be getting involved here? Kind of depends if other people get involved. I think I'm going to have to fold now. 1.5 bets is just too much to call here. With a crappy two-card draw. Once it's crappy, but it's any kind of two-card draw. You don't really want to be calling here. Even when people min raise, they normally have something. So oh, well, okay, makes his mind up in the end to fold. So let's see what happens now then. Whew. Let's get it all in here, right? Draw one, draw none. Okay. Now you've hit. So your draw one, and another monster hand here, number five. Wow, what a hit that was! And he was drawing live there. So when he broke that hand, huh? I wonder what the hell he had, and why he probably should. It's probably something he should have um broken in the first place. I'm guessing if he was drawing to 4-3 ace there and he broke it, he probably shouldn't have passed it in the first place. So anyway, 6 out of 6 now. Still no bounties. Whew, that's been the frustrating thing about this tournament. No bounties. Why can I never get them? Maybe I just don't enter enough pots. I always start too badly. All sorts of reasons. Coming up to the 200 hands is hand number 199. Not a huge number, I guess. We've been going for nearly 3 hours, so running at 70 hands an hour, including the breaks, though. 70 hands and 55 minutes of actual playing time. So 75, 70, something like that per hour. Can get slower than that for sure. Hmm. Okay, what's happening here? It's a cool, gosh, it's pretty short now. There's one as well. Whoa, check. Gets it all in there. It gets called. Let's do it one draw. It's the last draw. Oh, and he manages to win and gets rid of GNL, who had a monster stack, an enormous stack, and somehow he ends up only finishing sixth. What do I decide to do here? It's very close. I actually decide to fold. I think opening this up would have been fine too. Okay, 2-2 they go. Still 2-2 on the second draw as well. And you decide to bet 2/3 of the pot, get called. 0-1. See my graph there. Still no bounds. 8,000. Oh wow, look at this. Oh hell, look at this. Oh well, that's just a we've had some bad beats, haven't we? Wow. So you end up making, is that number 10? So 663 is so 6421 would be number 7, 6431. Number 9. So you make number 9, the ninth best badugi. You make number 7. Wow. Would you believe it? So I mean, both of you are going to be. And did you draw two to make that hand too? Wow. It's just just very highly improbable stuff there. If if you're losing with a hand like this, just it's not going to be your day. And you had a huge stack too, and you just got extremely unlucky there to make a hand like that. Lose with it. Wow. Okay. Well, you're the big beneficiary. Look at all your chips. 133,000 pot there. Hell. Big draw for me. I'll get some money in here. Can't mess around. Fourth place though. Well, I am in fourth place out of four. So I managed to kind of ladder up here. Even though my stack has kind of stayed about the same. Still no bounties. That's the stupid thing. Of course, now it's going to be very hard for me to get a bounty. Unless I go out and buy one of those coconut chocolate bars, then I might be able to get one. That's the only way I'm going to get one here by the looks of things. 0.4. It's always fun when people draw four, but in the big blind, that's kind of normal. That's going to happen sometimes. So when people actually voluntarily enter pots and draw four, then. So anyway, I've got a badugi. I have a badugi. Doogie, doogie, doogie. It's not the world's best, but I'm going to have to go with this. I've just got a little bit too much hand here. I've got, well, my stack is too short. So, and I'm thinking I might get him to break something better than this too. It's a possibility, right? Break, yeah. Okay, I don't know whether that probably didn't happen that way, but um, he folds. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I get a few extra chips in my stack there. Hmm. Yeah, is there a way back for me here? What's going on here? 2-2. 1-1. I thought they would That's what we would do. It's a small bet on the flop. He just checks it. Small bet now, relatively just under half the pot. That's small. There you go. One naught. What does he do? So now 10-9 wins, right? Not a good draw here. 7-6-1 really. Okay, try to get some money in here. Decent enough draw on the button. Okay, how many? It's going to happen again where he draws one, I draw two, and I have to fold. And it's happened again. I keep missing. I keep missing. Completely missing those two card draws. He draws one, and I have no choice but to fold. You know, so that's three times that I've done that on the bus with a two card draw. You've defended with a one card draw. I miss. And then he bets on the flop, which is perfectly fine. Having drawn one fewer card, and I can't have nothing to defend with. Hmm. MPS, by the way, is in for his fourth bullet here. So, but he will make money because he's got plenty of bounties. Why is it I'm so bad at getting bounties? It's really, really terrible. Really terrible. Hmm. So, quarter to two now. But I started playing poker at 8 o'clock. So, 5 past 8. That's a min three bet, which I'm wondering what the hell does that mean? Should I be scared? Doesn't discard. Oh dear. What the hell does that mean? Is he polarized towards monsters and really crappy hands? He's betting quite small on this flop. And he gets raised. Now then. And then the three bet. Whoa, that's just such bizarre play. You could have an absolute monster here. It's really hard to see it. I see this sort of play quite often. He decides to bet pretty small. Cool. Okay. Is he going to just shove now? Well, he bets or half the pot. Yeah, okay. So he had a big hand. He was slow playing it. He really was slow playing that. This was min three bets and stuff. Huh. Obviously, I have to get some money in here. I probably should have actually gone a little bit bigger than this. Could have gone as high as 7-2. Didn't matter though. They both just folded to me, which is kind of weird. So Alex is now a short stack. His bounty is most definitely in play. We need to think about this a little bit. Okay, look at this. Ace 4-6. Pretty decent catch. I'm gonna have a look at this. And I'm gonna get another look on the river too. Now I hit, right? Not a great hand, but it's something I still have to bet. Bet fold, I guess. If I get raised here, um, not too happy about it. Bet half the pot. I get a fold, okay. Hmm. Decides to commit. Just one. But then he hits again. He's been hitting everything. This Goodwin guy. Alex's hand was terrible. The Goodwin now. And now look how short I am compared to the other two. I'm tiny. I'm absolutely tiny. But I'm going to get some money back, although probably not any bounties. Unless something miraculous were to happen. do here? Let's get some money in here, certainly. Would have drawn one there. Heads up. Enough to go with here as well. Don't hit here. And I mean I could bet this actually, or I'm gonna call here. Look what I've hit. Ooh, the bet was so small. I have to raise this for sure. I'm guessing he just folds here, doesn't he? He folded pretty much instantly. Maybe I should have raised a little bit more. Now then, I've got just gone 2 o'clock. Just had the another little break, and I have a monster three-card hand. I don't think I can get away from this. But you to raise it to 8,000. What do I do? I think I just pot it now. MPS gets away. Goodwin decides to just put me all in. And he's pat, so I'm an underdog. Okay. And the favourite came through. Okay, and I didn't quite get what I needed there. But it was a funny tournament, a little bit frustrating because I got absolutely no bounties at all. In some ways I was pleased because I bounced back from being in a pretty dire chip position. But yeah, interesting morning of play, an early afternoon. Three tournaments, cashed in two. Uh, yeah, things I could have done differently, obviously, but it's always going to be like that. Um, so, so okay. Oh, get my graph now. You can see I managed to get up to pretty handy stack there, and then I had that terrible hand, which I think really cost me dear actually. Uh, Here it is. Oh, I'm the red here, aren't I? I'm red. That one there, yeah. Well, yeah, muddled along for a long time after that, and as other people just left the scene, but I still think I could have done things a little bit differently there, and things might not have been quite as, uh, you know, things might have just been a little bit better. Might have, who knows? Might have got a couple of bounties, won the tournament even. Who knows? Anyway, that will do. That's all from me for this little mini series of poker tournaments again. I'll be back maybe tomorrow actually. I'm too tired now. I'm just gonna just shoot off to bed. Then I'll face playing poker tonight. Or one of the tournaments I wanted to play has already started anyway. So that's me done. And yeah, be back broadcasting very soon. Take care. Bye.